transcontinental. So thank you very much, Lori, for that announcement. And now we'll open it up to questions. Thanks.
Governor, this is Rebecca Boyle from the Greeley Tribune. And I wonder if you've discussed with anybody the issue with beef and previous bans on U.S. imported beef in Japan, and whether that's come up and what you've discussed on that topic.
Yes, we did discuss that, and we had a discussion about sort of why the Japanese are really strict as it relates to regulating the importing of beef into Japan. And I know that there have been a couple of different packing houses in Colorado for different problems were not allowed to export to Japan, and it really, I think the discussion we had with people at the embassy is how important it is for us to keep communicating with the Japanese government about these issues and to do all we can to have them understand that if the issue involves the mismarking of a package, that it doesn't necessarily mean that there is the degree of carelessness at a meat packing house that should impact our ability to export. And so we have not discussed that actually with Japanese officials. We discussed it with people at the American embassy, and they discussed sort of how they believe we should approach that. But that really is a discussion that has to happen with the Department of Agriculture. And our commissioner, John Stolp, has been here. They have a very high regard for John Stolp. He has made the case for why we should look to a regulation that is a common sense regulation that allows us to export and try and get beyond the restrictions that may unduly restrict our ability to export. So you can actually see a falling off in the export revenue because of the beef ban that was put in place a year ago.
Governor Ritter, Terry Jessup at CBS 4 in Denver. My question is, we keep reading that Denver's competing with Los Angeles, Boston, Miami, maybe Seattle for this Japanese tourist dollar. What do you think we have to offer them that these other cities have not already, especially in light of today's news? We keep reading that Japan is now confirmed they're in a recession.
I think that's right, and part of what we're doing here is looking long-term at how we inspire this. We understand that, if in fact we are able to convince ANA, and I agree with Kim, they seem very positive about the prospects of a Denver-Tokyo flight. If we convince them to do that, that won't happen until after the arrival of their 787s, and that would be at a minimum a year from now. What we have to offer them is, first of all, I should say, Terry, tourism, Japan to America has fallen off. We learned that yesterday, just in terms of a dollar value. The Japanese, and really in volume, the Japanese who are leaving Japan to go to the United States has fallen off, and a lot of that has to do impacting Hawaii. What we have to offer them is what we have to offer the rest of the world. I mean, we have fantastic recreational activity, magnificent mountain beauty. So we have skiing, we have fly fishing in the summer, we have rafting, we have just a host of different things that I think have not been marketed. And even before I took office, I had a group of Japanese who were Japanese Americans and Japanese who came to visit me and said that they absolutely believed that in this country, if we did a better job of marketing Colorado as a destination for tourists, that we would find great I think interest here in this country. And that we had an event last night that was sponsored by the Colorado Tourism Office, where I think that was reaffirmed again about all of the amenities that Colorado has to offer as a tourist attraction. It's just different in so many respects from other places in America, and we haven't done our job in marketing it.
Governor Dan Myers at Colorado Public Radio. What exactly did you hear from Japanese officials, airline and otherwise, that made you so encouraged about the flight?
Well, they looked at us and said that in all of the routes that they were considering, they understood why this would be this is a route that could be beneficial to both Denver and to Japan, Tokyo. Kim can explain, I think, better than I can why Denver is ideally situated for this route. She made her explanation, and the people, the CEO of the airline basically agreed that she was right in how she was framing the analysis. So Kim, talk a little bit again Jen about why that is, and they basically agreed with Kim. She was right about that.
I think there are two major things. Number one is the fact that we are indeed a major hub for United. We are a Star Alliance hub, and ANA is a member of the Star Alliance. So they can code-share with United, with Lufthansa, with US Air, and after the alliance grows with Continental next year, they'll have those connections as well to South America. So the fact that we are a hub alliance is major. The second thing is we are located in the middle of the country with 150 destinations that we serve from Denver, most of which you can get to by 2 hours by plane. So we're a perfect location for people to fly direct Tokyo, Denver, and then transfer to another location in the U.S. It really opens up not just Denver to Tokyo, but it opens up the whole country and, in fact, eventually South America. Looking the other direction, when you fly from Denver to Tokyo, similarly, you can connect to anywhere in Asia. So it's really a gateway for us, not just a destination.
Governor, this is Bob Mook from the Denver Business Journal. You're doing a lot in this trip to promote Colorado's renewable energy sector. Have you done anything to promote its fossil fuels or more traditional energy sources?
Well, no. The way we look at this, I mean, like I said, Japan imports its fossil fuels, and that is intact. The greatest interest in Japan in looking at their energy portfolio is how to diversify it, how to rely less upon fossil fuels. It's not that we can't make that available, but if you want to know what the real interest here and what's really driving Japan in terms of looking at their energy future is the question of how they, number one, could rely more heavily on renewables. Japan, quite frankly, is a country that has done significant as it relates to the manufacturing and particularly where photovoltaic is concerned. They're exploring wind in a bigger way than they have before, but for them, and where you're talking about renewable energy, solar has been sort of the most significant place for them to turn to, and they have great research and development, but they also have great manufacturing around photovoltaic. They are, I think, exploring what role nuclear energy should play, and in fact, they have a plan for building out nuclear going forward, and they've had some fits and starts with that. They had a nuclear plant that was shut down before it actually began because of the fault line where it was built. So it's a very fascinating place to be in that it is a high-tech society that understands their energy future has to be different, and they're exploring ways to diversify their portfolio. And we in Colorado, I think, development quarters in the world where we can market Colorado both as a place for manufacturing but also as a place to partner on research and development and renewables.
Now, a quick follow-up to that. In China, that's not exactly the case. I mean, China, fossil fuel demand for fossil fuels is growing. Will you make the case for fossil fuels while in China?
Again, China has its resource for fossil fuels, and in terms of exporting, if you think about Colorado as an exporter, we have coal, we have natural gas, and we have oil. Natural gas, we already have too little infrastructure to export natural gas out of Colorado just to other places in America. So my pitch will be with China, again, the similarities as they relate to both China and America and the need to develop a new energy economy that combines fossil fuels with renewables. It's not, and I think you should understand, it is not at all that we underappreciate the fossil fuel industry in